So life works with principles. You need to stick to your principles. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dominion Wealth Zone. My name is Julius Olutokun. Please, do not forget, Dominion Wealth Zone aims to empower individuals and families to become the best in life. By following this channel and listening to us, you will find an improvement in your life and in your well-being. You'll be able to make more wealth, increase, improve on yourself, and become the best that God has meant you to be. I started a series the previous week, and I titled it Wealth Dynamics. The things that wealthy people do that poor people don't do. The thing that a select few do that the average person do not do. And I mentioned about 6 points in wealth dynamics. Today, we're going to look at the remaining part of wealth dynamics. So it's going to be wealth dynamics part 2. The first one today is dynamic management. What do I mean by dynamic management? I'm talking about dynamic management of your resources. You know, how effectively, how efficiently, how well are you managing the resources that you have within you, that you are accessible to? How are you managing your time? All of us, we have the same time, 24 hours. How are you managing your resources? All of us, we have some resources. You might not have the same resources. How are you managing your money? And number 4, how are you managing your energy? Remember, how are you managing your time, your resources? When I'm talking about resources, I'm talking about your skills, your talent. I'm talking about the people around you. I'm talking about the things you have access to. How are you managing it? I'll tell you, I live in the UK, and one of the resources that almost we have in abundance in the UK, apart from time that everybody has in this world, we have access to technological innovations. We have access to the internet. We have access to light. We have access to resources that are technological resources that might not be easily available in developing countries. I grew up in a developing country whereby resources are limited. It's only time that you have in abundance. Everywhere in the world is 24 hours. I remember one of the things I did in my early days in this country was to go to a science and innovation center. And I remember I took my children there at one time to look at scientific innovations. In the US, they have what they call the Silicon Valley, where it's a place, an industrial estate, an estate that is just an area that is designed for innovators, fintech innovators, developers. And in the Western world, there are areas like that. I read or I heard in the news about 10 years ago that Facebook was trying to create a hub like that in Lagos, which I was very happy about. You understand? So how well are you managing your time, your resources, your money, and your energy? A lot of us, we use our energy on other things. We use our energy to watch football. And when it comes to our own skills or our own area of operation, we'll be passive about it. If you pull the type of energy you use to analyze football, or you analyze sports, or a boxer, when a boxer get beaten, the way you analyze them. If you use that energy to analyze your own career, you analyze your own business, you analyze your own enterprise, you will find out you will be the best critic of yourself and you'll be able to do well. So effective management, number 1. Number 2, consistent routine. Consistent routine. You know, what most of us do is that we pull or we do what we're doing randomly. I've always said that what you have done and you are successful about it, why not continuing it? Why not do it over and over and over and over and over and over again? I've always said that practice makes permanent. In other words, what has taken you to where you are, why not put in that momentum, that energy, do it consistently, and you find that that those things will begin to move you forward in your finances. You've been able to save £10,000 or £20,000 to deposit your mortgage because you have your mortgage as your goal. Why not tell yourself, if I've been able to save that £20,000 to be able to pay deposit for my mortgage, I'm going to make sure I save the same £20,000 every year. And once you tell yourself that, once you put that goal before yourself, you'll find the reason why you have to do it. You find out the things you have to cut down, the things you have to do, you find out how you can generate that money. And as a matter of fact, if I'm you and I'm aiming to save £20,000, I'll give myself a target of 30 to 35, so that in case I could not meet my aim, I'll fall down to 15 or to 20. So you need to put consistent effort in what you are doing. Number 3 is you need to seek to assess or review your finances. Review your finances. Review where you were 5 years ago. How much were you earning? And I'm going to tell you why I said that. In 1996, I sat in my office in a place called Ikoyi in Lagos. I sat down there and I began to reflect when I joined the company that I was working for then. How much was I getting when I joined that company? I joined that company in 1992, November 1992, I joined that company, and I was earning 900 naira. Naira is what they spend in Nigeria. I was earning 900 naira, and I couldn't save because I thought the money was small before I take my transport to work, before I was not paying rent. I was living in my father's house. So before I take transport, before I feed, I pay my tithe in church and all this. So I thought the money was not enough. So 1996, 4 years down the line, I was now earning 5,000 naira. From 900 to 5,000. It was a big jump. And I still did not have a savings account. Because I was still telling myself this money is not enough as a 996. And then I was still living in my father's house. I still had the same expenses. The only difference between 992 and 996 was that I had a car. And of course, I was not paying the money for the fuel of the car or the servicing. My company pays for it. So it was an official car. You understand? Although I had another car apart from the official car. So I had an official car and I had a personal car. And mind you, I was still living in my father's house and I was still a bachelor. I was not married, 996. So I told myself 996, I said, come on. But then I was now eating more fast food at this Mr. Biggs in Nigeria. It's like our McDonald's here. You know, I was eating a lot of Mr. Biggs. Almost every day I go to Mr. Biggs. If I'm not buying Mr. Biggs, my staffs are buying me this very good meal, amala, and they put bokoto. You know, bokoto is a cow leg, and I love it. So I always eat that. So I told myself 996, I said, look, I have no savings. And on that day, and I used to have loose cash in my pocket. I got into my car. I didn't go with my driver. I had the driver. So I went to First Bank in a place called Falomo in Ikoyi. Falomo. I went to First Bank and I went to the customer service and said, I want to open an account. They said, you need an ID, you need proof of address. No, they didn't say, they said, you need an ID, no proof of address before you can open an account, and a passport picture. I told the lady, I said, look, I've got no ID with me here. I have my driver's license, but it was a photocopy, but I've got no passport with me here. I've got no ID, but I have the money to save. I'm going to complete the form and drop this money because I know if I don't start that day, I will never start. So I want to encourage you. I'm talking about the power of taking that step, taking that first step. So I filled the form. The staff was reluctant of taking the money from me. I said, look, take this money. If you don't take this money, I might not come back. So the staff took the money, took the form, and that's how I got my account open. And the staff told me that they said, you're going to open this account, but you'll not be able to withdraw the money until you bring the ID. I said, I don't mind. I said, keep it for 10 years. You understand? So I opened that account. I took my ID there after a few other days or weeks, I can't remember. I took my ID there anyway, and that's how I had my first savings account. So if you're thinking and you're telling yourself what you are earning is not enough, it will never ever be enough. So you need to take that step today. Take it today. I'm going to save more than what I used to save before. Number 4, be ready to scale your business. Be ready to scale your success. Entrepreneurs are always men and women who scale their success. In other words, improve on what you are doing now. Don't rest on your horse. Don't rest on your laurels. Don't rest on where you are. Seek to improve. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting change is the best definition of insanity. So seek to improve yourself. Seek to continue to scale up your business. Number 5, you need to develop millionaire habits and mindsets. You need to develop habits that will make you or that will keep you to continue to be successful. You need to tell yourself that I'm going to develop habits that will make me to be successful. In other words, you need to read books, you need to watch videos, you need to do what millionaires do, and you need to get close to men and women who are more successful than you. You need to develop millionaires' habits. And millionaires' habits are things that people who are successful do from time to time. And finally, today, you need to seek to inspire yourself. If you think I'm going to inspire you or somebody else is going to inspire you, yes, we will inspire you. But our level of inspiration will have a limit because you know you, I don't know you. You know where you're coming from, you know where you are, and you know where you're going to. You know your challenges, you know your difficulties, you know your weaknesses. That's why I say you know you. Don't forget that word. Don't forget everything in this video. Don't forget I know I. So therefore, you need to develop yourself. And how do you inspire yourself rather? And how do you inspire yourself? You need to create systems. That's number 1. Systems inspire. This is what I have to do in the morning. This is what I have to do in the afternoon. This is what I have to do in the evening. This is what I have to do in 5 days' time. Create a system. A system is like what we call a funnel system. There's this funnel system I studied about 7 years ago. I was trying to see how to scale up my business, and I look at the funnel system. So one feed into the other, and one feed into the other until it gets to the last point, into the big tank where is the ultimate result. So you need to create system. Number 2, you need to build discipline. Initially in the part 1, I talk about discipline over desire, but you need to continue to build discipline. You need to begin to discipline yourself. Number 3, you need to have and work with basic principles, life or based principles. We have the principles of success. We have the principles of ultimate living. We have the principles of starting. We have the principles of problem solving. So life works with principles. You need to stick to your principles. And finally, you need to set your mind on what your goals is going to be. My goal is financial freedom, financial liberty, becoming wealthy. These are my goals. And finally, my goals is helping the next generation. So you need to look at that. What are your goals? Set your eyes on it. Don't be distracted. Don't allow anything to shake or to move you from what your goals are. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification button so that anytime I release any video, you can be prompted. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.